Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of Saturday Night Fever with myself, Fishroom Fever, and my awesome co-host and buddy, Chattanooga Ed. I'm going to run through and say some hellos real quick. I'm sure John and Bob are still going at the moment. Let me pause this. To answer the question before it comes out, yes, I feel as bad as I look, but we're going to get through it. We're going to talk about a couple different things tonight. Hello, Amy, Sacred Aquatics 2, Rico Stan, Sand Mouse, 350 Twin. Appreciate you being here. John Cox. Cooper Aquatics for Sealy, Rico standing hello. Goodness, of course, Chattanooga Ed and myself in the chat as well. Fuggin Fish, F-U-G-G-I-N, that is. Appreciate you being here. And we have confirmed Rico Stan is going to be my guest on December 24th on the Christmas Eve stream. And we're going to be doing a couple of giveaways sponsored by Rico Stan. So, given that Ed is not going to be with me that day, I figured who better to take his place than the man that offered to donate to cover some giveaways. Even though he didn't even ask to be acknowledged for it, I still would like to acknowledge him for doing so. Skipper's Aquarium, how's it going? Appreciate you being here. Pewfish Zone, Tim Carter, rolling and scrolling. I know I'm missing some people. I've had something stuck in this eye for the better part of the past 3 hours. Tennessee H2O, Kim Carwick, Maria Z, Brianne Farwell. Appreciate you being here. Brianna's asking, what do your stickers look like? Could I get two? One for me and one for my mom. Yeah, absolutely. I will send. I usually send out at least two, if not three, to everybody, but I'll send you a couple more. I saw your email. We had a wonderful, huge response. I won't show the list, but I've got a whole list of addresses written down right here for stickers to go out on Monday. And see if I've got one on the desk here. I do. Give me just a second. I'll grab that. They are these right here.
Awesome.
Brown 2-inch sticker, Fishroom Fever with the logo on it. So I will be getting those out on Monday. So we've got Levi's Outdoors and Aquatics. Says, what are each of your favorite guppy strains? Ed, you want to take that one first?
Oh man, that's so hard. I'm always looking at my guppies and I always say, I think you guys are my new favorites. And then I look at this other, I'm like, you guys might be my new favorites. So I literally do it all the time. I can't pick one. Yeah. It's like, I don't know. I was going to say fruit, but that doesn't make sense because I like bananas. Even though I like peaches and I like plums. Yeah, fruit. It's a lot like fruit. You just can't pick one fruit.
It is extremely difficult. If I had to pick one, I would say it's probably the Blue Arctic Volcanoes I got from LRB, just because they're a rarer one that you don't really see. And I love the coloration. The females have got amazing color along with the males. Grab this before it runs any further away. Mike's Aquatics and Things with the 99-cent super chat, pooping on the stream with the super pooper emoji. I appreciate the fertilizer on the stream as always, Mike. And it's great to see you, my friend.
Probably the ones that I'm most proud about are my blue-green Moscows.
Those are gorgeous.
They were originally just blue Moscows, but they were little bitty guys. They wouldn't grow big.
Mm-hmm.
So I added other fish, and I've been working with them for about 2 years. I got them big and beautiful, but now they've got green in their tail also. But there's still such a thing as a blue-green Moscow. So, I mean, they're awesome. The problem is Moscows seem to really pound their fry. I hear people talk about albinos eating their fry. My albinos don't, but my Moscows do. Maybe we could talk about how we breed some of our guppies later in the stream.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be fun. You and I both love talking guppies, so why not? Manly Bettis with the $4 super chat. Thank you, Manly Bettis. Says, get well soon, buddy. # subscribe to Ed. Yes, please. If you have made your way over here, we've got 61 people watching, 43 thumbs ups. Thank you all for being here. You've not subscribed to Chattanooga Ed somehow, do me a favor, subscribe to him. We've got a link in the description, along with, I'm sure, in the chat at this point. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for the push for Ed, because we'd love to get him 1,000 subscribers so that he can stream from his phone when he goes places and looks at things. And just a friendly reminder, several people have gotten it. If you have a question, if you'll put at Fishroom Fever, it will highlight for me so that I don't miss it. It pops out a bright orange on my screen when you do that. I did miss. Okay, there it is. Kim Carwick said, okay, question. How do I get my mystery snails to breed? I have 5 of them in a 29-gallon tank. Good question. The biggest thing is lowering the water level. And the same goes for if you want your mystery snails not to breed, you want to raise the water level up. I like to keep several inches of empty tank up at the top. That gives them room to be able to come out of the water, lay the eggs on the glass, because they do not lay their eggs in the water. So drop that water level down, and then I feed a lot of green beans and algae wafers, shrimp wafers also. I bought the Tetra shrimp wafers, I don't know, maybe 8 months ago at this point when they were $1 a bag on Amazon. I think I bought about 25, 30 bags of them. So I'll chuck a handful of them in the mystery snail tank fairly often as well. But the feeding the green beans and making sure the water level's down a couple inches, giving them room to get out of the tank to breed, are going to be your biggest things there.
Now, what do they call their egg sacs? Are they like some type of crystallized something?
I think crystal sounds right, but I'm so
you're
not proper state of mind at the moment. I couldn't give you the scientific term. I'm sure somebody will nail me for that and put it in the chat, but I appreciate you having the answer.
Well, do you break those off and then, or do you just leave them?
So there are a couple of different methods. A lot of times what I like to do is I keep my mystery snails specifically in tanks to breed them. So I will have several air stones running and then glass tops to help keep moisture on them. That way they don't get too hard, because I have had issues where if they don't maintain a certain level of moisture, I guess is the best way to put it, they just dry out. Another thing that I'll do is if I've got them in a tank that's not set up like with an air stone bubbling right below it, is I'll just splash water up on them once a day out of the tank, and that usually tends to do the trick. You can do things such as taking a scraper, scraping them off, and there are so many different ways to do it. If you Google it, I actually think it was Down the Wormhole was the very first video I watched when I first wanted to get started breeding mystery snails. And I didn't, not that I know Dee currently, but I wasn't familiar with her at the time. It was just that happened to be the video, and then later on, ended up being a big fan of her channel. It was like, oh yeah, that was your video that I watched when I was first learning about it. She's got a really neat method Down the Wormhole. You could check her video out.
I saw one just this week, and they used styrofoam, and they floated the styrofoam.
Yep.
And they did a time lapse, and you could see the little guys popping out. It was really neat. I don't know who did.
I don't know either, but that sounds familiar. I feel like I saw that. I know I've seen the method before, and I love the time lapses when they do it.
Time lapses are cool.
We got Tim Porter with. Oops, sorry, buddy.
My local fish store guy, he has one video of a time lapse of mystery snails in a tank, and it's nothing but mystery snails, but it's like a 24-hour one, and it is just awesome because they're everywhere. They're like on every piece of plant all over the place. That's aquatic aesthetics.
Yeah, I
guys want to
feel
go
like
check
it was Labs Snails. I know did a time lapse. She's done several time lapses of snails. That's another one. We're going down the mystery snail rabbit hole now. But hey, they're fun guys to watch and to breed. Tim Carter with $10 super sticker with the hippo flipping the hat backwards, throwing the thumbs up. Tim, I appreciate you. I really do. Your support here on the channel and your orders off of the website. I do want to address real quick. I know John and Bob talked a little bit about shipping issues and different companies and whatnot. I have gone through and marked all of the plants and livestock out of stock for the cold weather season, because USPS has updated their website to where they are having, I forget the exact wording, unprecedented. They are having unprecedented delays currently. Several people have noticed with shipping. I'm not too concerned about the fish that I've got shipped out. I've done a lot of testing beforehand, and they've survived for a very long time, but I am starting to see some issues with some of the plants, especially if you've got plants and fish that are in the same box, and you've got a heat pack in there for the fish, and then that warm temperature. There goes that camera. Warm temperature on the. Now we're over here. Now we're back here. We're good. We're here. Yeah, absolutely. So I've got some issues there that I am working on addressing. I saw an email earlier. I think that person's in the chat, but we're getting all of those orders taken care of. But I'm not going to be shipping anymore after what goes out tomorrow until it warms up, and that'll leave me plenty of time for doing all that guppy breeding, like you were just talking about, along with improving the site. Trying to get fancy like John at KG Tropicals and getting really good photos and video. Is what I will end up doing is, as I know things will be available in the springtime, I will get them added to the website ahead of time and just simply mark the inventory at 0. And so when the time comes, I can just put the numbers in and be good to go in the springtime. Make sure I didn't.
My 2 cats were about to go to war, and as soon as I put the camera on them, they just like both chilled out. They were both like this.
That sounds about right. I'm like, nope, we can't do it. We got to wait.
It would have been great for everybody to just watch this karate chopping war.
Absolutely. And I'm so out of it, I don't even know if I did a party popper for Tim, but I'm going to go ahead and pop another one either way because I appreciate you, Tim. I really, really do.
And we've had a whole batch of great people came to the stream.
We have. We've got.
I'm just going to say hi to everybody.
Exactly. Hi to everybody. We could say hi to all 100 of you here, but you'd probably end up just watching us say hello until the end of the stream. That's another thing I want to address. Those of you that have been with the channel for some time now are accustomed to us going at 7:30 Eastern on Saturdays. We had planned to change that starting this weekend, even before Bob and John were going to stream. Reason being, Secret History Living in Your Aquarium, he is going to be streaming on Saturdays from 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And then Father Fish streaming before him. But where Father Fish started doing evenings, that kind of bumped Alex at Secret History around a little bit. So him and I got together and said, hey, we'll figure this out. And I said, you know what, I'll cut a half hour off the front of mine. You take that hour from 7 to 8, and we'll go from 8 to 9. So going forward, you will see us on here at 8 o'clock. There may come a point where if there's nobody going at 9, we go from 8 to 9:30. But for this week, just to make sure we don't step on anybody, we're going to do from 8 till 9. And it just happened that John and Bob ended up streaming this week until 8 o'clock. That was the reason for the time swap over for the weekend stream, in case you missed the Thursday stream where we briefly touched on it. Okay, make sure I get my highlighted ones. Amy just saying I sound sick. I'm sorry. Let me get my radio voice on. Go through here. Lefty32138 says, sorry I'm late, was playing Wingspan. All right, I still have not gotten to play that game, but I will get to it sooner or later.
And on the Lefty show, he showed yesterday that there's actually an online version.
Oh, nice. I'll have to look into that.
But it doesn't have the fixes that I have fixed to make the game better.
I got you. We won't go too far down the gaming rabbit hole, but I'm definitely interested in getting together with some other fish fam nerds and playing a bird game. Justin Mosley asking, when am I going to start doing some shrimp videos? I'm just now getting a really good colony of blues to do a video on. I've got cherries, but not a whole lot of people want to just see a cherry shrimp video. And then I have oranges and yellows that are starting to really multiply out. So you could definitely start working on some videos. I could get a video out of the blue dreams that I have in the zebra pleco colony. So I could work on that soon. That's one that I will put down in the notes as something of interest that people would like to see, and we will get one filmed for you. I guess we'll go over a basic setup and care, even though that colony is not how I would recommend one be set up. They do thrive and do really well in that tank.
Yeah, and I love shrimp. So I'm always down to talk shrimp.
Absolutely. Brian. Wow. Okay. Words are hard, Brian. I'm sorry. going to send you extra stickers for that. So what is the best and least stressful way to move a 35-gallon discus tank? Also, how can I get my hands on some of Ed's stickers? I think I have maybe 1 or 2 of Ed's left at this point. Normally, I'd say we could get together and get some stickers, but him being in quarantine and me not feeling well, we're avoiding each other, which doesn't happen very often.
Yeah, I've got 2 people I need to mail stickers to, but I'm not going to do it until I'm through quarantine.
Yep.
And but if you send your email to my Facebook messenger, I'll throw one in there, and hopefully I'll be out midweek next week. And it's been killing me. I was just about to let Kimberly know how it's going, and since I just said it, I won't end up typing it. Yeah, I've been reading a lot of fiction.
Right.
A lot of.
In terms of moving the tank, I don't know if you're just maybe moving it, room to room or across the room, or if you're actually doing a full-on house move to a different location. If you're just moving it, from one spot to another in the same house, I would just, siphon some of the water out of the tank for the fish, get the fish moved in there, drain the water down basically all the way. Then if you can physically move the tank with the substrate and everything still in it, do that. If you need to move some stuff out for weight purposes, you can definitely pull out rock. If you've got 80 pounds of rock in there and 30 pounds of sand, you probably don't want to try moving it, intact. But if it's possible to just move it intact with the water drained down and the livestock out of it, that's usually the easy way to go. And you can even use that method sometimes for going house to house, putting it in a vehicle for transport. Pew Fish Zone saying you need to have a male and a female for mystery snails. Absolutely. I find that helps with breeding most things. If you have a male and a female, you are pretty much 100% more likely to have babies than if you do not. Sean Chadwick with the $3 super sticker with the big thumbs up pair. Sean, I appreciate you. Good to see you. I hope you were doing well today, and I thank you for hanging out with us. And thank you for the super sticker, my friend. Really, really do. Rolling and scrolling for highlighted comments here. John's Fish Room says, Fish Room Fever, I just picked up 10 leopard frogs and 10 183 plecos. You talked me into it. Well, I'm glad, and congratulations. That is awesome. I am definitely a little jealous of you, but I am glad that you did pick those up. Very, very cool, and I certainly hope you enjoy them. Beautiful, beautiful plecos, and of course, you being a pleco nut, about to the extent that Ed is a guppy nut. Not that I don't love my guppies, but plecos hold that special place in my heart. So very cool. Thank you for sharing that. And again, congratulations. Edgar Reyes saying hello. Hello, Edgar. How are you? Levi's Outdoors and Aquatics says best fish / snail / shrimp combos to breed in a 20 long Fish Room Fever. So I have got several 20 longs set up. And my favorites, y'all probably guess this, is guppies. You could do endlers as well, guppies or endlers. I've got both. And then I like to do bristlenose plecos. Doesn't have to be your common ones, but you can do just the standard chocolate bristlenose. You can do blue-eyed lemons or the super reds. And then any type of or any color of neocaridina. Cherry shrimp's great. And that way, if you do get some predation, it's not quite as heartbreaking as, the guppies are tearing up my blue dreams or my orange sun-kissed. So that's probably my favorite, is cherry shrimp with a nice strain of endlers and a pleco cave with a male and a female bristlenose. And some planted tank, definitely. I'll throw that in there.
The only tank that I have that I'm actually breeding snails that I like are my Hercules snails. They're like really cool guys. They're also they're like a rabbit snail. They're white and just neat. And I've got some of Haley's baby bristlenose that I've been raising up in there. So I feed them cucumbers and green beans. And then I've got Goodiots in there with them too. So, but no shrimp in that tank.
Right. I would go ram's horns in a 20 long, just because for mystery snails, as we talked on just a minute ago, you need to lower the water level down. And a 20 long already being as shallow as it is, dropping that couple inches of water definitely takes away from capacity on it. So I'd prefer to keep that one, kind of topped off. So I'd go with ram's horn snails in that.
Yeah, and they're nice.
Oh, yeah. I enjoy them. Atkins Nature Aquariums. Hey, James, Ed, what's up, Fisher Fever? How's it going? I appreciate you being here, my friend. Always good to see you. Sandy Dowdy, good to see you as well. Says Rachel O'Leary has a good video about mystery snails. Yes, Rachel has awesome videos. All of her videos are good videos. Can't go wrong with Rachel O'Leary.
She's just awesome. She's super cool to talk to, too.
Absolutely. Mike's Aquatics and Things says, man, oh man, is James Ramshorn snails prolific? Sheesh. Yes. Told several people, if you order ram's horns, you don't need to order a whole bunch. Just order you one set. They will breed out. And then I hit stupid people saying Jadron Aquatics, another awesome channel, has a good video about mystery snails. Yeah, lots of awesome videos on mystery snails out there. The king of DUI, I still get a kick out of that name, and several other people. Holly Gibbs saying hashtag secret history living inside your aquarium raid. Appreciate that, Alex from Secret History, and all of you all coming in from there. Really, really do. Roll and scroll. Make sure I haven't missed anything highlighted. Looks like I've made it to the bottom without missing any highlighted. Oh, no, it jumped on me. Haha. I just thought I did. All right, let me get back up here. Yep, it jumped on me. I knew it's too good to be true, right?
Our buddy Kenny pooped on you twice.
I think that is still down below. As far up as I can get, says mainly bet as I had a plant order ship out last Monday from Indianapolis, and I just got a notice it didn't leave their hub until today. It sat there all week. Frustrating. Yes, definitely frustrating. And that's why I'm just, after the orders go out Monday for things that have already been purchased, we're not going to have any more live things going out in the mail, especially given that they are having quote unquote unprecedented delays, as they put on their website. I was, okay with a day or so delay. Things were still doing okay, but not with things taking 2 weeks. We don't want that going on. Holly Gibbs says, I'm so excited. I just found my first mystery snail clutch ever. Congratulations, Holly. That is awesome. What is the best thing to do? Leave the clutch hanging or take it out to hatch? So I generally do leave mine hanging. And again, you could simply go as minimalist as once a day, just splash some water on it. I found that that's definitely enough to keep enough moisture on that clutch so that they do hatch out and that they don't dry out. If you've got an air stone in the tank or a sponge filter that you can move to position underneath it, so you're getting some of that surface agitation bubble popping up on there and getting some moisture on it, that's great, especially if you've got a lid over top of it. Those have been the best things. I usually will pull mine right before they're ready to hatch, just because I've found a lot of times, oh God, I don't know what Ed's laughing at, but I'm sure I'll get to it in a second.
Oh,
You okay?
it's just your chat's really starting to stink.
Oh God. A lot of times I pull my mystery snail eggs just before they're ready to hatch. That way I've found that like the larger strains of guppies, especially Moscows, will kind of start to pick those little guys off as they're dropping into the tank. So I usually move them into a safe place and let them grow out a little bit. What's going on? Multi-Tech Addiction says, what up, my brothers? Fish Room Fever and Ed. Glad to see you, Chris. I hope you're doing well. Furloughs Aquatics with $3 super sticker. Once again, that thumbs up exercise pair. I need to get to exercise, and I know John and Bob talked a little on that. And Mike at the Fish Tank Barn getting on the healthy train. I need to do that. I watched a video the other day that I filmed with myself, and then I'm editing it. I'm going, God, I need to lose weight. But Eric, thank you. I appreciate that. Furloughs Aquatics, always a pleasure to see you, my friend. I hope you're having a phenomenal day. All right. Colin Scooter Cave says, any tips for catching fry out of a heavily planted tank? Do it at feeding time. That is about my best tip. And sometimes if you're finding that you're having a really hard time catching them, maybe drop the net down in right below where you're wanting to catch them and then feed. That way the net's already under the water so that you're not disrupting as you go in for the swoop. And then feed and let them come to that spot and then lift up out of the water. Another thing you could do is feed directly above. Like if you've got one of the, I've got some net breeder boxes that have suction cups instead of the clips. so that I can submerge them. So I can submerge one of those, feed directly above it, and then just kind of scoop it up almost like a dip net style.
I use a shrimp net, and so that way I can weave around, like, because the kabumba plant is real easily torn, so I like to go around it. Yeah. And then I also don't catch any adults because it's such a small net. Because I mean, these are so dumb. They like go into the net. I'm trying to look for my guppy catching net. It's just a standard shrimp catching net, but of course I don't see where it is. It's probably over on the other side of the room. But it's only like a 1x1 circle, but I mean it works. And I can weave around all the plants.
Absolutely. Yeah. In fact, I use the same thing. I've got one I got off of Amazon for about $9, but it's a square one, or rather it's rectangular.
Oh, nice.
And it's got a telescopic handle, so I can use it to get further back into some of the tanks that are sitting front to back instead of long ways. And it's really great for that target and precision catching like you're talking about.
I use my telescopic one for pulling out the dead fish.
Let's see. Okay, so Brienne said the tank is moving across the room. So yeah, I would just siphon some of that tank water out, catch your fish, put them in there, and then drain it all the way down, move it over, fill it back up. What you could do with it being discus, I think you said it was discus. I'm almost positive, but my mind may play tricks on me at this moment. Is if you've got the extra containers, 5-gallon buckets or whatnot, maybe keep half of the water so that they're in primarily the same water, and then you're just doing a 50% water change. I know a lot of times discus keepers don't like to do big water changes because of discus being delicate, so to speak, just depending upon the strain. So if you're worried about doing too large of a water change, you could siphon off some of that water and then put it right back in to avoid doing a massive water change. Kenny E with Daniken Aquatics, double pooping on the stream. The double super pooper chats. I appreciate you, brother. Glad to see you, Kenny. I don't know how the fish fam football is going, but I hear Mrs. Fever giving you a hard time fairly often. So hopefully you're doing well with that. I think that you're beating us at the moment, but I appreciate you, brother. And I'm glad to see you here. Looking forward to being able to get together again with you one of these days. Maybe do another little small tour, travel trip. Who knows? Maybe take a little bit more time than, 28 hours to go to Florida and back from Tennessee. But either way, it was fun. And I appreciate that time that we got to spend together. Mike with the Fish Tank Barn, pooping on the stream. The $1 Super Pooper Chat. Mike, I appreciate you. Fish Tank Barn, I hope you were doing well. And I do salute you for the weight loss exercise plan, I guess, that was mentioned. That is awesome, and I need to get the mental toughness and fortitude to get my butt doing it. So good luck to you, brother. I hope
that's awesome
that you do well, and I'm glad to hear that you're doing better than I am at it. Sure didn't miss anything highlighted. All right. Kira Corridorable, I love that. That's a great name. With $1 Super Pooper Chat as well. Thank you for that, Kira. And very awesome name, Corridorable. I like that. I've not seen that before. So kudos to you on originality and cuteness. Epling Creek Aquatics also pooping on the chat. This chat is very well fertilized. Yeah, this is like filling the chat with easy green. Pepling Creek, thank you for pooping on the chat, my friend. Adding that fertilizer to the stream. I hope you were doing well. So many awesome people in here and so many regulars. It's great to have the new faces. And this week is a little different if you're new to the channel. Typically, we'll have a topic set, but with a shortened stream this week, plus kind of not getting to all the Q&A the past couple of streams, we wanted to kind of leave it open for that and just touch on some basic stuff while taking questions. So once again, if you came in after I said it, feel free to put @FishRoomFever. It will highlight for me, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you all have. At least we will do our best anyways. Yeah, our brother Chris there with Multi-Take Addiction also pooping on the stream. Chris, I appreciate that. That one got right on the camera. Getting good at that. That's always good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I haven't talked to you lately, Chris, but I hope everything's going well for you. And you have been in my thoughts, so just know that. Secret history living in your aquarium, says Fish Room Fever. A funny name today. Just kidding. You're sick. Yeah. Anyone claiming that he just came from my stream was Googling something naughty for 15 minutes. I sent him straight here. LOL. Yeah, that's great. And I do appreciate it, Secret History. And I'm glad that we were able to get together, you and I, and get it worked out so that, you can get your time in and I get my time in. And I'm a huge fan of what you do over there. And we always have a good time talking together. So I'm more than happy to make adjustments so that it would be a good, smooth transition. It's always good to see you, my friend. Tim Carter coming back in here and throwing some fertilizer on the stream as well. Tim, I appreciate the super pooper chat from you, my friend. And we got Mike's Aquatics and Things coming back once again, pooping on the stream too. So thank you for that, Mike. Again, I'm not complaining one bit about these pooper chats and the party poppers, but I know that doesn't necessarily make for the most entertaining show. So if you have questions, please feel free to throw them in there. You don't have to super chat. Just throw them in there highlighted at Fisher and Fever, and we'd love to take those. I don't want people to think that they are obliged to super chat just to get a question answered. Peggy Sister Rena, Fisher Fever and Ed. Hello, friends. Hello, Rena. Good to see you. Multi-Tank Addiction says, Fisher and Fever, you need a baby wipe emoji. We're getting close to another emoji. You all, the members, have been amazing with your support, and we have almost unlocked another emoji that will be coming soon, and we'll talk about that when the time comes. HC Aqua says, James, I remember that video of you in the tank. Yeah, so that's a little known video that HC Aqua is referring to. There is a video of me out there on YouTube, not on my channel, that I did for somebody else as a collab intro.
Was it Dr. Black?
It wasn't Dr. Black. I am in a 100-gallon aquarium with water running down from a sump system on top of me.
Rumble.
No, it was not. We'll see.
Okay.
We'll see. Well, let's see if anybody in the chat knows what channel that was on.
I'm not going to say Blake just to keep
Besides
naming
Jesse,
off
because
Australians.
Jesse obviously knows, right? Lumpy Dog says, be careful, this stream could catch a bad case of Steenfot in the near future. Hey, I love Bob Steenfot. He's an awesome guy, and he's going to be coming back on as a guest, I'm sure, here in the near future. Roll back up here. Chat has jumped on me. I see a whole bunch of support, and I also see some questions in here. I'll make sure that I do not miss anything. All right, back on track there. We got Tim. We got Mike. There's that. All right, there we go. There's the baby wipe emoji from Multi-Tank Addiction. Lefty3213A, or Lefty lots of numbers, as John says. It says Fish Fam workout and dieting DVDs dropping in 2021. Yeah, that's we're gonna do some tank lifting exercises to show you how to build your core. Substrate carrying. Get 2 5-gallon buckets of gravel. You're gonna do some laps with those things.
I was doing really good for a while there. I had lost 19 pounds until they found out that I had the bad heart. And, they knew I had a bad heart, but they didn't know I had an aneurysm on it. And I had to give up my exercise. So.
Rico Stan says, I'm with you, Fisher and Fever. Being retired, you'd think I'd have time to get some exercise, but I hardly ever do. We had another part of it's been just kind of getting out in public with everything going on in the health situation. I know several people that go walking all the time, and it's become one of those things that even doing that could potentially be unhealthy, so to speak, in other ways besides the fitness aspect. Xanadu with the 99-cent super chat. I appreciate that with the big money eyes smiley emoji. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I did send you an email back. I tried to get all the emails caught up today, even though I was not at my prime. Apologies if they were a little bit shorter than normal, but I was trying to get to everybody. Thank you for the super chat, my friend. William Pridemore says, Fisherman Fever, I have pleco fry in a pleco cave. Will they come out on their own, or do I have to pour them out? So they will eventually come out on their own. Now, if you would like them to go into a different tank, I would recommend you go ahead and pull them now before they come out versus trying to catch them. But they will eventually come out on their own. Another thing to keep in mind is if you've got anything that's going to predate on them that might think that they're tender and delicious, go ahead and pull that cave while they're still hiding out in that and get them elsewhere. But they will eventually come out on their own. What you could do if you want to try and lure them out a little bit sooner, if you're looking at them and you see that they don't have that yolk sac anymore and that they're ready for food, is try dropping an algae wafer or some green beans right in front of the cave to kind of lure them out of it. They smell that food and want to come out and get a little snack.
Now I've got a question for you. Let's say you just have the young ones. Do they like to ever hang out in caves? Like, does it make sense? Like, let's say you go to your friend's house and he gives you 2 baby ones, or small ones, like inch big. Should you throw a cave in there just to make them feel good, or do you wait till?
Yeah, it doesn't hurt. I have seen that the little ones will hang out in caves. My blue-eyed lemon grow out tank, I've got a cave in there, and I find that those little guys are in it fairly often. There's always at least a couple in there. I don't see the aggression issues like I do in the mature males in terms of them running each other out of it, but they definitely enjoy that little hiding spot, if you will. Usually, if you don't have a hiding spot for them, plecos being plecos, they will go find a hiding spot somewhere. Select Pet says, if Fish Room Fever reenacts the super stickers, I hate to see when he catches up to the poop emojis. Yeah, I don't reenact those. I just appreciate the fertilizer, Select. No worries there. But that's a good one. Furlough's Aquatics pooping on the chat. Again, not going to reenact that one. But thank you very much, Furlough. I appreciate you, Eric, for the super sticker and some fertilizer to the stream. And Xanadu again. Xanadu with the doo-doo coming in with that sticker. Thank you, Xanadu, for all your support and for being here. I appreciate everyone hanging out. We've got 133 people watching now, 100 thumbs ups. That is awesome. I think that is a Saturday record. Saturdays usually being not quite as lively as Thursday night stream. So thank you very much for that. You all rock. And we just passed 2,100 subscribers, which I didn't think we were going to do by the end of 2020. So a huge thank you to each and every one of you all for that support. And I know lurkers that are sitting there listening, you all play a huge part in that. And you're just here to hang out and learn and be a part of it silently. I appreciate you. I really, really do. Rockford Fish Keeping says, almost had a bad thing happen. Had to move some bristle nose. Made this mistake of using a brine shrimp type fish, brine shrimp type net. Fish was stuck for a little bit. Yes. So keep in mind that if you've got that, these right here, actually, these nets that have that really fine, really soft mesh, they're, as he mentioned, labeled for brine shrimp. Those bristlenose plecos really can get caught up in these things. I don't recommend these. That's part of why I like the net that I ordered off of Amazon. And I will try and come back after the fact and get a link and add it to the description. May or may not be affiliate link, honestly, but at least get the information in there because it's not a fabric like that. It's more of a plastic, if you will. It's not a hard plastic, but it's more of a plastic woven fiber than it is this actual cottony fabric, so they don't get stuck.
And that goes for all catfish, anything with a barbel.
Absolutely.
Or is that what barbels are up front? What are the little spikes?
Oh, I can't think of what those are called right now. You've got
all your loaches have them. The Synodontis had like little spikes, and I screwed up and pulled my Synodontis, once, and I got a Synodontis stuck in there.
You'll also find the pectoral fins. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Keep going.
I was just saying that you'll also find the pectoral fins get stuck a lot on those bristlenose plecos.
And even auto cats can get stuck. So it's like almost all cats can get stuck in those things.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's definitely. I'm glad that you were able to avoid the disaster, but definitely a good piece of information to call out, and just something to remind people if you're, maybe new to breeding bristlenose. Be careful what type of net you use. They can definitely get caught up in those. Danican Aquatics again, Kenny E with a $3 super sticker with the big thumbs up exercise pair. There's my exercises, the thumbs up. I'm just kidding.
You know what, James? Can we segue for a second since we're just talking about cats? Let's talk a little bit about Catfish Christmas.
Absolutely.
I'll only take a couple of minutes.
You go right ahead.
We got Lefty and Zen here. Maybe they could tell us, how many people, has many people participated yet? What we were doing is we're doing a photo, video, and art contest with any type of catfish you have. And so everybody can submit once per each category. I'm sure one of those guys will pop the link to where you go to send your photos and your videos. But I don't know if they've gotten a bunch so far or not. It ends at the end of December. So guys, make sure you get them in. Okay. Sorry, James. I just wanted
you were fine. I was kind of sneaking ahead, peeking through the chat there. But Kenny E with Daniken Aquatics throwing another $3 super sticker in there. Sorry, I caught your stream last week. I just lurked a lot in there. But sorry I wasn't more active in there, Kenny. But again, I appreciate you, brother. And T-Bones Fishies, I do have you on the list of stickers going out. Fear not, we will get those shipped over there to you. Just wanted to confirm that. Since I haven't replied to all the people that asked for stickers, I did get those. But I appreciate the $1 super sticker with the. That was kind of a disappointing one with the smiley emoji there. Multi-tank addiction saying we need to hire a pooper scooper in here. Absolutely. I tell you what, it is a pile of pooper scooper right there. Yeah. Not
when we get done here,
the kids love it though. The kids will come in here and pick all this confetti up and play with it. So absolutely. Sandmouse 350 Twin says, Ed cracks me up. You guys are awesome. Ed is an awesome guy. He is one of the few people that I can handle being in a car with for 6, 7, 8+ hours repeatedly. You know, Ed and I have been on several road trips, and there are not a whole lot of people I can handle in the car for long periods like that. So he's a wonderful guy, and we're blessed and glad to have him as a friend and on the channel every week with us. And then Chattanooga Ed pooped on the stream. He had to get in on the action. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. As if you don't already do enough. I appreciate you, Ed, more than you know. You're my best friend. I'm blessed to have you. I can't thank you enough for everything you do.
Well, I feel the same way with you, man.
Thank you.
We're teammates.
There you go. Absolutely. Mr. Fish, sir, how are you? Says, speaking of water change, FRF is going to need one. Yeah, we're going to need a water change to get all of this, these nitrates out of here. You know, beneficial bacteria is kicked in and converted all this poo over. Don't have enough plants to soak it up. Maybe I need to add some duckweed to the stream to soak up all the poo.
Hopefully you have a sand cap.
Yeah, absolutely. Brianna's asking if you have an email. You just want sticker requests to go to your Facebook Messenger, correct?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Yep.
And my name is, I'm the only Chattanooga Ed on Facebook. So
absolutely. Go Chattanooga Ed on Facebook. Send him a message with a sticker request, and that'll be the best way to get a hold of him. See, John Cox says, would love to go to Florida to collect for like a 3-day weekend myself. Yes, a 3-day weekend would be awesome.
That would be so much fun.
Good luck getting me out of the water. If you haven't seen it before, you can check out Father Fish's channel as well as Kenny E, Daniken Aquatics. They both got some footage of me up to my beard in water with a net, just like I was a kid in a candy shop going to town wild fish collecting. Absolutely love it. I cannot get enough of it. But yeah, that
we ran
awesome.
Out of time. We were going to do saltwater collecting too.
Yes, that would have been amazing. But I was happy with what we got to do, given the time we had to do it. Still, Angus, I agree. This is a very crappy chat. And Chevy Fish said, it seems like people like to give me poop. Yep. I'm not complaining one bit, though. You know, I'm a crappy guy with a crappy channel, and it's a crappy chat, right? But God love you all, and I appreciate all of you being here. Make sure I didn't miss any fishy questions. There's Steenfod Aquatics. Bob, how are you? I appreciate the send over, my friend. Poop it on the channel with the $1 super poop chat. I've got a spider web of confetti back there. Always good to see you, Bob. Look forward to having you on the channel again. I was going to give him a hard time when he first told me him and John were getting together this week. It made it sound like they were doing that every week, and I was going to say, how dare you? How dare you not come on my channel every week on Saturdays? But love having you on, and we'll get you back soon. Always good to see you. I just have a fun time talking to you. Biscotti Nanya says, hey, hope things are going well. Fish Room Fever. Have a good stream. I'll be lurking with maybe one or two random questions. Feel free, throw the questions out there. Always here to take questions and do the best we can to get you answers. The wonderful thing about this community, and that's really what YouTube and the Fish Fam is about, is it's the community. It's not Ed and myself are experts or anybody, sitting up here proclaiming themselves to know it all. Is that it's a great live, open, instant forum, if you will, with a lot of knowledgeable people on a lot of different topics. Plus, he's got the 8-ball.
We've got the magic 8-ball, so we can answer any question. And if it's wrong, it's the 8-ball's fault.
Absolutely. I'm going to mess up your last name again. But Christine, I'm going to say Gauthier with $3 super chat. So just some support. Christine, I really do appreciate that. That's very kind of you. And I just thank you for being here. There's always a dud. And I think you called it last week, said the black ones didn't work so well. That was a black one there. There's a red one. But thank you, Christine, for the $3 super chat. And thank you for hanging out with us today. The secret history is saying, do the party poppers cost more than 70 cents? LOL, hope not. Yeah.
I know.
So they're $6 for $1 plus tax. So 109, and you divide that out. So they cost a little bit, but it's underneath. Though I have been known to lose money on things just to make it a fun thing. It's kind of like that original members batch of packages I sent out for the first 30 members. I lost my backside on those so bad, but it was fun and I was glad to do it. But very valid point, Alex, and I appreciate you, tossing it out there. Furloughs Aquatics. Sorry, go ahead.
I was doing the math in my head too. I was like, I wonder if he's losing. He's probably making a nickel.
It comes to like a quarter after the party popper, but I'm not. It's not about it's not a get rich quick thing. It's just it's fun. People enjoy it, so I enjoy it. Hey, that's what it's all about. Furloughs Aquatics says the lemon plecos have doubled in size since I got them from you. That's awesome, Eric. They are definitely quick growers. I was almost to the point where I was going to have to change the listing on the site to 2-inch plecos. And I definitely could have done that with quite a few of them, but it was time to pull the listing anyways because of winter and all the shipping issues. But I'm glad to hear they're doing well. And if you ever have any questions, feel free to send me a message. I'm here for you. And I appreciate your support, Furloughs Aquatics. The Lion's Den says, I have some cyanobacteria growing under the substrate. Should I care? Under the substrate. I don't know. Somebody's going to yell at me for this. So first off, let me say I'm picturing a sand substrate. When you say under the substrate, I'm picturing you're looking at like the layers and you're seeing cyano. In that case, I don't know that I would under the substrate. I'm certainly not going to mess with a sand cap to get down to something. That being said, if you're like noticing it down in some gravel and it's starting to merge out, I would definitely treat. And of course, it's not, you didn't call it algae, you called it cyanobacteria. So you already know. A lot of people call it blue-green algae. And then, you get into the whole, well, it's not an algae, don't treat it like one. But you already know bacteria, treat it accordingly. If it's under a sand cap, I wouldn't mess with the sand cap. If you see it starting to spread out to where it might be wanting to try and breach upward, definitely give it a treatment. Doesn't hurt to kind of try and get ahead of those things and nip them in the bud sometimes. But I wouldn't necessarily panic about it. Oh, my chat is completely frozen on me. It must. Oh, yeah, there we go. I knew it was going to jump on me. We've got a new member. I will get to you. I promise. I'm scrolling up as far up as I can scroll, and I know that I've missed at least one super chat that I can't get up to. As far up as I can go is Lefty32138 says, did you see my message from last week about the 26th? I don't know that I did. Don't know that I did, Lefty. Yell at me one more time and get my attention because I don't recall for sure seeing it 100%. Select Pet says, I hear Chattanooga Ed is creeping closer to 800. I certainly hope so. He's an awesome guy, and we'd love to get him to 1,000 subscribers. That way he can do live streams from his local fish store on his phone. And for anybody that doesn't know, you can't stream from a mobile device until you have 1,000 subscribers. So that's kind of that big milestone. Get him there so he can stream from local fish store, as well as fish swaps and things when, the health situation slows down a bit, and we can start going to meets and all of that wonderful stuff. And fishy gatherings.
Yep.
Fishymon64 with the 99-cent super chat with the red devil emoji. I appreciate you, Fishymon. Always good to see a Fishymon. Thank you for the super sticker. Roll through here. Brand says,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You're fine. Go for it, buddy.
Amy asked, how do you clean your plastic plants? Or how do you clean the algae off of them? With peroxide, bleach? What do you do? So, and then Sandy Doherty said she uses vinegar, and so do I. Mm-hmm. And I just use white vinegar. Well, I don't have any fake plants, but if I did, that's what I would do.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. It's the best way to do it. Peroxide is good for cleaning live plants without totally destroying them too much. But with fake plants, just hit them with that vinegar, like Ed mentioned. That's the best way you can do it.
I just wanted to agree with Sandy, and then she was asking what type of vinegar, and it's just the white vinegar.
So Brian would like to know, do you know anybody that does custom fish art? Does Ed have an email? I do not have Facebook. I'll take care of it. It's for the few and far betweens that don't have Facebook. I can take care of it, and I can probably just go ahead and stick the last couple Ed stickers in there. Everybody else, please don't yell at me. Yell at Ed. No. In terms of fish art, Priscilla MK does awesome fish art. I don't know if she's taking. I can't think of the word at the moment. It's not consignments, but I don't know if she's open right now for that or if she's got any lined up. She probably has some lined up. She typically does. But Priscilla MK does awesome fish art. Punchy Paints is another one that does amazing art, but most of hers is wildlife and nature. Commissions. There we go. Commissions.
You can commission her, though, to paint your fish.
Yep.
I've done that right now. I've got one commissioned with her.
Punchy Paints and Priscilla MK are the two that you want to talk to. Just there's probably more out there, but I mean, we've got Chris, Multi-Tank Addiction. Yeah, I've got his art right here. Again, buddy, Chris, brother, I'm sorry. I'm sick, but yeah, I've got all sorts of art from Chris right here. He's another one. I think he does commissions. I know he does fish art. But yeah.
Go to his website, you can look at his stuff and you can get prints that are real pretty.
Absolutely.
Oh, I shouldn't have said pretty. Really nice. I don't know what the proper thing. You don't want to say pretty. Okay. You don't want to say they look like pictures, and you don't want to say they look pretty.
Right.
I think artists get mad about those two things.
Lefty32138 says, we've gotten some Ed, not as much as last time, but normally the last week is a rush of entries. Yes, so anytime we do the contest like Project Basilia and the Anavantoids and now the Catfish Christmas, it seems like everybody is last minute on that, which is fine as long as you get it in before the deadline. But as Ed mentioned, that's going on right now, and I'm sure we'll get plenty more entries in. The Lion's Den with the $2 super chat says, glad to see you got more party poppers. Yes, it's very rare I run out. That happened to be an enormous influx of people that day. And I'm not so big-headed as to think that I need more than a dozen on hand, typically speaking. But I've got, and I'll get more before Thursday's stream. But yes, so thank you for the $2 super chat, Lion's Den. And again, thank you for coming back. Appreciate you being here and hanging out with us and supporting the channel. Ginger Graves is with us. How's it going, Ginger? Long-time subscriber and member of the channel. She's got that 7-month membership badge, at least 7 months or 6 months. I know last time I looked, she was on 7 technically, but it stays at 6 months and then you get to 12-month. But you may even be on your 8th month. So thank you for that. Been a member since we got memberships. Glad you're here. Says, glad to be home and catch y'all live. I know that can be difficult with your work schedule. So glad to have you here. And Steele, I did get your request for the stickers also. I've got your address and everything down here. I won't hold it up and show the camera. We won't dox you. But definitely got that from you. Multi-Tank Addictions have never been more happy to see people pooping all over the place. Yes, it is very much appreciated. Never expected, never required, but it definitely does help. Select Pet. Sorry, I'm kind of blowing through these because we've got about 5 more minutes left, and I want to make sure that I haven't missed questions. not seeing a whole lot of questions. I know we did have that one section, the chat jumped. So if your question happened to be in a section that I've already missed it, please throw that back in there, highlighted Fisherman Fever, because I know the chat kind of right past some stuff. But Select Pet says, is there a sub count where you switch to poppers with a fuse to light? Not indoors. Not indoors. Not lighting off anything in the house is probably a horrible idea, and I'm sure that my insurance would not like to see me doing that on live YouTube. We could maybe work some kind of big bang for a milestone, maybe. Talk about that. Roll on down through here. Grabbing everything highlighted. Collins Critter Cave upgraded membership to Team Snowball. I appreciate that. And I will say I'm going to be working in some discounts. Now, this is, of course, going to be mostly springtime when I get all the livestock on there. It will, of course, apply to everything, but it's going to be much more beneficial in the springtime when I get plants and fish back on there. I'm definitely going to be getting some membership codes now that I've got that worked out on the site, specifically for the members. And I will probably do something to give you all that do the snowball level just a little bit more discount. But definitely everybody's going to get a discount that's a member. You'll have membership discount codes. So look forward to that. And I appreciate the support. Thank you for upgrading, and thank you for just being here, being part of the Fisherman Fever family, and being a loyal supporter and a subscriber. Rebuilding our brand. Hello, Melvin says hello, Mrs. Fever, and hello, Fisherman Fever. Lions Den says, I have 1,000 platinum molly fry. I don't know what to do with them. Ed said he needed 1,000 platinum molly fry, didn't you? No, you didn't.
No, I have wild mollies, and I've got orange lyre-tail mollies. So I'm good on my mollies.
I would talk to, assuming you have a local fish store, which is a big assumption on my part. I'd talk to them. I'd maybe get on a local fish group if you have one, or maybe Craigslist, see if people are interested. And then other than that, I don't really know where to go from there if you don't have any of those options. But buy more tanks.
Who was it?
That is the Lion's Den.
Lion's Den, where do you live? Maybe we can find a club that, I don't know if you're in a club, but clubs are great for fish swaps. And I know that sounds terrible, but I mean, somebody might even want them as live, feeders. You never know. I know that sounds terrible, but maybe you can just swap trade fish also with people. There's all sorts of different things if you don't have fish stores around to sell them to.
Absolutely. So Still Angus says, I can't get my nitrates low right now. They are about 120 parts per million. Nitrite is perfect. Water is hard, 200 ppm. KH is 80 ppm. pH is 6.8. What can I do for the nitrate? There goes that camera. It's going to bounce over here, and then it's going to bounce over there. No? Okay, we're stuck over here. Gotcha. I can fix that. Yes, I can. Boom. All right. Let me get my chat back. Perfect. So first thing I would do, and this may sound silly, test your water, test your tap water before it's going in. See what it's coming out of the tap at. I have seen in the past when people have sudden issues with nitrate being out of control, a spike in their water source. Sounds weird, but I test that first to see if maybe you're not putting additional nitrate in. And then just a quick reminder that it can be just as dangerous to your fish to drastically and quickly reduce nitrate as it can be to have high nitrates. So case in point, doing an 80% water change to drop your nitrates, that sudden drop, if that does drop it, which you're saying you're having issues, can actually cause nitrate shock. Even though that you would think that you're being helpful by getting it out of the tank, you kind of want to reduce it a little bit more gradually. But other than water changes, I mean, you could try and add some extra plants in there. People hate it, but you throw some duckweed in there, some guppy grass. That's another great absorber. Let's see. Trying to think some of your really good sponges at that. So water sprite's probably another really good one. Sucks that stuff out. Guppy grass is probably the prettier of those. Duckweed, I will say, does an amazing job at multiplying almost instantaneously, as we all know, and soaking stuff up. So I would give that a try. If you're having issues, you're doing water changes and it's still not going down, try and get some extra plants in there to help absorb it until you can figure out why it's doing that. I would also stop any sort of fertilizer treatment that you're doing, just to make sure that you're not boosting nitrate through fertilizers while you're trying to fight it back down.
Yeah, not all nitrates are bad necessarily.
Yeah,
it might be fertilizer. That's what I was thinking. I mean, if your fish are fine, if they're not showing any problems, I just leave it alone for a little bit, especially if you use fertilizers. But that's just my opinion. Sorry.
Yeah, absolutely. No, you're fine. You are all right. If someone would please do me a favor, if we've got another Fish Fam member that's doing a live stream right now because we just hit 9 o'clock, please let me know. I don't want to step on anybody's toes. Normally, we're really good at jumping off of here on time, but I don't want to just leave people hanging, so to speak, if there's nobody else that's currently streaming. Brian was saying, I appreciate you giving free stickers just for future reference. Can I get more stickers than once if I wanted to give them to fish friends? You absolutely can. Or like an example, in advance, you want some extras for friends. I'd be happy to just throw extra in the envelope. I ordered 4,000 stickers the last time I did my sticker order. So I've got tons in there. So I can throw some extras in there. Absolutely no problem. And there's the question from Amy at Sand Creek. And go ahead.
I need to get like 200 of them from you, and you can have 200 of mine or something.
Absolutely. Get back up here. I'm trying to catch up.
Lion Den, have you ever thought about getting like a dragon puffer? Because if you get a dragon puffer, you could feed them one molly a day, and then you just have your mollies would be happy because they just keep multiplying, and then your dragon puffer would be happy because it was eating a real fish. Just throwing that out there. I know that people don't like to hear, fish like that, but they're almost a nuisance fish.
Absolutely. I do want to say real quick, mods, I see y'all cleaning some stuff up, not even taking the time to look at what it is, but I appreciate the work that you all do each and every week. And I know as our audience grows and these chats grow every week, that means more work for you all. And I know it's a tireless job as is. So I really do appreciate everything that you all do to keep the chat nice and tidy and help with answering questions and, sending people the links and all that wonderful stuff. So thank you for that. We had Foxy's Fishies with the $1 super chat with the smiley face. Thank you for that, Foxy. I do appreciate it. It's good to see you. I hope you're doing okay. I hope all is well with you and yours. Thank you for being here. Justin Mosley says, do you have any Trident Java Fern by chance? I ordered a few and they came in dead and I'm over it. So I do not currently have any. I've got like a very small Java Fern, but nothing that would really be of any significance to send out to anybody. It's not something that I'm currently growing with the intent to sell it, but as I am readjusting, and again, I've got a couple dozen empty tanks I'm going to be setting up, I'm going to be increasing what I can offer and what I can grow because I don't bring anything in. What I sell is stuff that I've either grown or bred out. Rolling and scrolling. Thank you, Lefty, for the commissions. Saying it was commissions was the word I was looking for. Multi-Tech Addictions, $5 super chat. Thank you, Chris. Says, LOL, I thought we were friends. I'm just kidding. I pulled my fish art because it wasn't selling. Whomever has a print, it just became a lot more rare. There you go. Yeah, I've got his fish art all over here on the wall, as well as several other places. Multi-Tank, I do love your stuff. Love your calendar. And I don't, for some reason, my head was stuck on the commissions part and not just fish art in general. But thank you, brother. I appreciate you. And no worries on giving a hard time. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Rolling down through here. I don't know if that's Jerome or if it's supposed to be Jeremy, but it says, what do you think of staggered tanks? I have two 125s I need to stack in a not so tall space. So I don't see anything wrong with that, especially if it's filling a need. If there is a room need requirement, then you can definitely do that. I've actually looked into doing that for aesthetics purposes, along with some space purposes. But I mean, I think as long as it's not something that you dislike, and especially if it's helping to fill a space requirement for you and get things in where you need them to be, I don't see any issues with that. Just build accordingly that the weight can be sustained properly, however you decide to build that out. Rockford Fish Keeping says, the Molly baby guy, get gills. Yeah, absolutely. There you go. Let's do those, 1,000 baby mollies on get gills.
You know what? It's going to be hard to sell mollies on get gills because mollies are everywhere. So it's going to be hard to get somebody to pay shipping for mollies. I'm just shooting it straight. I don't think somebody's going to spend $20 extra for the mollies, for the shipping and handling. Just throwing that out there. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You are all right.
But I mean, maybe they're an amazing molly, and if they're super awesome, you judge it.
Gotcha. Absolutely, yeah. And I honestly, Get Gills is amazing, but I don't really get on there enough to see the variety of what they've got and whatnot. So Ed, probably very good advice there. Still, Angus says, fish are all fine and plants are staying alive, but never thought about testing my well water. Duckweed doesn't reproduce in this tank for some reason. Plant to get of it Monday. Actually, yeah, I would test the water source just to make sure that you're not adding a lot of that nitrate in. But if everything's doing well, I wouldn't panic over it. Again, a lot of times I think, kind of like Ed mentioned, we'll chase numbers and we'll panic about stuff, even though we're not seeing any negative issues. Or fish are doing fine, plants are doing fine. So yeah, absolutely. Christine was asking, I'm new to plants. How do ferts change nitrates? To which John Cox, thank you, John, came back and said ferts contain nitrates to feed the plants. Absolutely. When you're fertilizing your tank, more often than not, you are adding to your nitrate level. So that's why I mentioned cutting out the nitrates. And Steele says, I'm not using no fertilizer in the tank, and fish and plants doing good. So yeah, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Xanadu with the $3 super chat. Thank you, Xanadu. Appreciate that. Xanadu, technically. Says, when can we order the Tennessee Fish Mafia shirts? Ed? You were the sole proprietary intellectual owner of the Tennessee Fish Mafia logo.
Well, honestly, I've gone to 7 different places now, and I haven't been able to find any places around here. And then the last week, I've been in quarantine, so I can't do anything. But today, my buddy Diego on Petsotics, he has a new channel where he's going to start doing a labeling company. So I'm going to talk to Diego and see if he's able to do the shirts. And I don't know if he's going to do silk screen or just ship all the labeling out. But if nothing else, maybe we can buy some hats from him or something.
Absolutely.
Maybe I can order like 20 hats or something.
And once again, Xanadu, I appreciate the support, really do. But we'll figure it out. Ed and I will put our heads together if he doesn't come up with something on his own, and we'll get something set up. New Tank Syndrome YEG says, tips for propagation of Amazon sword, which is male, no runners. It has started to sprout above water, but has not flowered yet. So once again, speaking to earlier where we mentioned not experts, I will just come outright and tell you that's not one that I have propagated previously. And I do not have the expertise to give you a legitimate answer based off of personal experience. However, out of the 133 other people in the chat, I would dare say there are a couple of people in here that can and probably already have at this point, because that's about 4 minutes ago now that question was asked, can answer that better than myself. I can give advice on things that I have worked with and things that I have propagated, but that's not one I personally have experience with. Ed, do you?
What type of plant was it?
It's an Amazon sword. It's a male. It has no runners, and it's starting to sprout above water, but has not flowered yet.
Oh, I've never had them flower or anything, but I mean, they turn into cool bushes for me. I don't know. I haven't ever had them like reproduce. They just do well.
And I'm in the same boat in all honesty. I've had them grow out well, but I've never propagated them. I've had one or two that, have maybe I've either gotten them in bad or fish have destroyed them, where I've basically pulled all the leaves off and just took the root system and buried it, and it grew back wonderfully.
Wow.
I would dare say, having literally beheaded the thing and ripped every single leaf off of one before, you could probably cut that root system in half, plant them separately, and it still grow. Again, I've not tried it, but given the experience I have had, I would say that more than likely work. And I'm sorry I do not have a better answer for you, but don't want to lead you on with an answer that I don't know. So there we go.
Maybe Joseph might know. Gosh, what's Joseph's?
JH
Aquatics?
Yep.
Yeah. Go to JH Aquatics, and he loves to deal with plants and stuff, so he might know.
What's going on, fantastic freaks? Throw in the $2 super sticker with a big red thumbs up. Good to see you, fantastic. Give Finley a little belly tickle for me. Say hi to all your puffers. I appreciate you being here. Been enjoying the stuff you've got going on your channel, my friend. Going through here, grabbing highlighted stuff. I'm going to get caught up here in the not too distant future. Looks like I may have gotten there. Yep, I think I got there. I think I reached the bottom. So Steel Angus says, what are your thoughts on growing Bucephalandra plants for profit? My LFS and Petco do not sell them, and LFS owners are family friends, so I have a place to sell them. Thoughts? If you have a tank in which you can successfully grow and propagate them without costing you a fortune that you would not be able to recoup, I would say absolutely go for it. While I have not tried Buse, it's a beautiful plant. So if you think that you would be able to set up a tank that would be sustainable and profitable, that's definitely a plant that there is an open market for, so to speak, especially given what Buse goes for in terms of pricing. So more power to you. If you can get that set up and going, I think that's a wonderful idea.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I am at the bottom. So if you have any questions I missed somehow, feel free to throw them in there. I'm staring at the live chat as we speak. Chevy Fish is saying hi to Carrie Habercorn. Hey, Chevy Fish. Sabrina Stewart, how's it going, Sabrina? Says, now I have a tank of Dalmatian Mollies and creamsicle Dalmatian Mollies. So Ed can tell you those mollies, they will mix up those colors quick.
They do. I bought like 8 or 9 mollies a couple years ago, and they were all orange lyre tails, except one had a black spot on its tail. And it bugged me from day one when I saw that black spot. And I was like, I'm going to have to make sure I do calls. But it's a 125-gallon tank, and it's hard to do calls when it's. And I didn't do any calls, and now I've got some super ugly mollies. I've got some really ugly ones, and it seems like the uglier they are, the faster they are. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. So here's a good one from Collins Critter Cave. Says, any plant recommendations for brackish water? I've not done a brackish tank. Well, I did many years ago, but I didn't do plants because I wasn't even able to keep freshwater plants alive at that point.
Guppy grass does good in brackish water.
I thought you had said that you've had it in brackish before, known people to have it in brackish.
And mollies go well in brackish. Was it flats or I have my mollies. These mollies were in brackish, but I've been winging them into freshwater now. So I've been just, slowly transferring them all to just normal water, and they're doing great. And I put the same guppy grass in, and the guppy grass is doing better now than it was when it was heavy salt, but it still didn't die off. So,
yeah. I think that's a good recommendation. And I love guppy grass anyways, so it's one of my favorite plants. Still, Angus says, I got a tank just sitting here wanting for me to make some money off of it. LOL. Yeah, it's hard not to contemplate setting up a plants for profit. If you've not checked out Bentley Pasco, I highly recommend his channel. One, he's an awesome guy. I love what he does. But two, he is a super plant nerd. He is a master aquatic horticulturist many times over and does a plants for profit series. So go check him out. And I know he also is very knowledgeable on Buse, since you mentioned that. So go watch what he's got going on if you have not already. I think you'll enjoy it. And that might give you some ideas for your plants for profit tank, as well as some tips and tricks. Michael Wentworth, what's going on? Good to see you with that shout out from the sunny beaches of Guam. Hope you're having a wonderful day.
Ooh, that's awesome.
Right.
You know, Dragon Layer says American giant Val grows well in brackish. Now, I wonder if I've got some of that in this tank because it is such a huge Val. Maybe I'll try putting some in some brackish water and see what this is. I think it's jungle Val that I have, but it might be American giant Val. That'd be kind of cool.
So I do not have an answer for this question. Amuse in the craft room says, I have 2 accidental Pseudomago luminatus fry in my tank about a ½ inch long. Do you know how old they are approximately? So first off, not having any personal experience with Pseudomago luminatus, no. But secondly, and more to my point, is I have found oftentimes for most fish, in my experience, the size doesn't necessarily dictate an age. You know, I've seen a lot of fish that were varying sizes of the same age, just depending upon, you know, what they were fed, what the water parameters were. You know, is it water warmer? Is it cooler? Things of that nature. I've often found that trying to age a fish or guess a maturity level of a fish based off of size can tend to be misleading. I do not have a guesstimate for you on that, unfortunately, but I didn't want you to think that I did not read your question. All right, so it is 9:17. I did not see that anybody was live, but we're going to give it about 3 more minutes, and then we're going to wrap up. But I didn't want to leave people hanging. I wanted to try and get as many questions in as possible once they finally started rolling in, and I appreciate all of you all hanging out beyond that hour mark. I know we've always done an 1.5 hour stream, and it's a little weird to try and cram Saturdays into an hour, but fear not, we will be back Thursday, of course. Ed and myself both do a stream on Thursday, so you get technically 2 hours of us following KG Tropicals. And again, shout out to Bob and John for the send over, along with Secret History Living in Your Aquarium. Appreciate all of you guys. I'm going to grab a couple more questions real quick, though, before we wrap it up. Mr. Fish, Sir Brad, sorry, that thing in my eye is coming back, says guppy grass doesn't do well in acidic water. I've not had it in acidic water because I've not had acidic water to play with it in. But that is good information to have and good to know. Fantastic Freak says, I know you have piranhas, but have you ever had exodons? So I do have exodons, and yes, I know I need to get a video. Lucas, LRB, if you're listening, I'm sorry I haven't put the video out yet, but I actually have LRB Aquatics Exodon Paradoxus. He was looking to get them rehomed, and I've got them already, but they are going to be going in this tank once I can get these guys moved into the 6-foot, 110-gallon tank. You're going to have the Exodons behind me. And then the rest of that, the follow-up with Fantastic was I saw some recently at one of my LFS and thinking I may have to get a group soon. They are wonderful fish. I absolutely love them. I can see them in the one of the hallway tanks from right here. Really do enjoy those guys. I would highly recommend it, and I think you'll enjoy them as well. And then, like I said, coming soon, you'll be able to see them behind me. But with Mrs. Fever tearing her Achilles tendon, moving tanks has been an issue. And then, of course, Ed would help me with anything he can, but A, anything heavy is not good for his back, and B, he's quarantined and I'm not feeling well. So it's kind of do I want to try and move a rimless 6-foot glass tank by myself and risk breaking it? No. So that's kind of slowed the moving of fish around, but the Exodons will be coming soon behind me.
Those Exodons are super cool. If anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, they're also known as bucktooth tetrads, aren't they? Isn't that the other name?
Tetris, yes, absolutely.
It was. I wish we would have videotaped Lucas catching them because it was awesome. It was a full. It was like I think a 75,
Yep, 75.
maybe tail,
Yep.
but it was filled with Val. So it was Val that was like all the way to the top. So it's like 2 foot Val, and he was able to catch them. And those suckers are fast. It was fun to watch him do that. We had a good time. We should have recorded it. We were having too much of a good time to record.
That's typically what happens. Pew Fish Zone says, Fish Room Fever, is there any difference between hashtag Fish Fam and just Fish Fam families? So I'm going to say, in my use of the term Fish Fam, I use it very openly and invitingly to anybody that wants to be a part of this amazing community that we have, like these 127 people that are watching, including the 2 people that they gave a thumbs down. You're still part of the Fish Fam. I appreciate even you. There is a technical, like a Fish Fam logo, I guess, and a technical Fish Fam, I guess, if you will. But I just consider everybody that's on here. You know, you come on here, you talk to me, you hang out, you ask questions, you share the experience. Even if you're lurking, you're still sharing the experience. Your family, we're fishy friends. You're part of my Fish Fam. Or the Fish Room Fever fam, you know. So yeah. I guess that's the best way I can answer that. Brianna says, can't wait for the stickers. Very excited. There are 18 tanks in this house. They're taking over. That is awesome. Congratulations. 18 tanks. Gotta love it. You are moving your way from multi-tank syndrome into Fish Room Fever.
I wish I would have bought a Fish Fam shirt, but the Fish Fam, predates us.
Yeah,
it was before us even. It's the community, and before I was on streams, I saw the shirts at the conventions, and I wish I would have bought it at the last time I saw it. It was this guy Flip. He was the guy who did all the work to print them out and everything. Rob from Flips Aquatics. Thank you, Rob, for being amazing. I think he's been so busy with the whole, I won't say the word, but the whole sickness going around. He's been like selling so much, he hasn't been making videos. But and we don't want him to slow down so he can start making videos. So, but we're proud of him, and he's an awesome guy for our community. Okay, sorry.
All right, no, you were fine. You are fine. I was making sure. It looks like I caught up to everything. I grabbed the highlighted stuff as it came through. I'm going to go through and say a quick thank you to because I know that I had to have missed some people when it jumped. I know there's at least 1 or 2 super chats that did not show up in there. I'm still looking. Brianna's asking, how many tanks do you have? So currently set up, I have, I don't know the exact count, over 50. I have a couple dozen more. All in all, tanks that I own is right around 90, but they're not all set up at the moment. I'm moving tanks around, rebuilding fish rooms because we've got fish tanks in multiple rooms and hallways and things. But the end result is going to be right at 100 tanks once everything is reset up again.
I'm going to be at about 70 once I set up my shrimp rack outside of the fish room. I don't like my shrimp being in here because it's just too warm. So I'd like to set them up out there, and then I can bring more guppy space.
Absolutely. You can't go wrong with guppies. Again, a huge thank you to the newest member, Xanadudu. Appreciate that very, very much. I'm just going to burn through these real quick. I am kind of looking for questions as I do it. We'll grab them, and then we'll wrap things up by the 9:30 mark. Eastern time, of course, so about 6 more minutes at the absolute latest. And if there is anybody that is going to be live, please let us know. I'd be happy to get the link in the chat. We can send them over here or send them over there from here. And I appreciate you all bearing with me. I know I've been kind of back and forth bouncing around today. Wow, that's a lot of poo on the stream there. All right. I'm going to grab that. Brianna says, just got 3 tanks today. I'm reorganizing my bedroom, which has 5 tanks in it right now. I know the feeling. Congratulations and good luck. It gets interesting looking for space. Tim Carter says, get better and healthier. Have to go. Tim, appreciate each and everything you do to support the channel. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for hanging out. Let's burn through here real quick. I'm not going to call out exactly what they were, but a huge thanks to Mike's Aquatics and Things, mainly Betta, Tim Carter, Sean Chadwick, Furloughs Aquatics, Danikin Aquatics, Fish Tank Barn, Kira Corridorable, still love that name, Peplin Creek Aquatics, Multi-Tank Addiction, Tim Carter, Mike's Aquatics and Things, Xanadu, Furloughs Aquatics, Xanadu, Danikin Aquatics, T-Bones Fishies, Chattanooga Ed, T-Bones Fishies, Steenfod Aquatics, Christine Gauthier, Mike's Aquatics and Things, Fishymon 64, The Lion's Den, Foxy's Fishes, Multi-Tank Addiction, Xanadu, and Fantastic Freaks. Thank you all very, very much for the super chats and the support. Again, it means a lot to me. Never expected, but always appreciated. Fish Tropic dropping that thumbs up at the last minute. I appreciate you lurking, my friend. You all have a wonderful night. Hand it over to you, Ed.
Yep. Thank you, everybody, for coming. It was a lot of fun. And it was great seeing everybody here. It's just a lot of fun. And we didn't even get to we were going to talk about fish breeding a little, and we never even got to it. But that's quite all right. We'll just save it for another night.
Absolutely. Once again, a huge thank you to the moderators, the members, the lurkers, the listeners, the participators, the question askers, and Aquarium Co-op, who is lurking, I guess. Have a great one. Until next time, keep your fish healthy, keep yourselves healthy, catch yourself a little fish room fever. Love you guys.